All right, let's dive right into this explainer. Welcome, everyone. Today, we're breaking down what is absolutely, without a doubt, the biggest football match of the decade. We are looking at the 2026 World Cup final. It's a monumental clash between the world's #1 and #2 ranked teams, Spain and Argentina. We've got an unbelievable amount of data, tactical breakdowns, and historical analysis to get through, so let's jump right into the thick of it.
But first, we just have to acknowledge the elephant in the room, because you literally could not write a better script for this final. 19 years ago, a 20-year-old Lionel Messi was photographed bathing a 5-month-old baby for a charity calendar. And guess what? That baby was Lamine Yamal. Fast forward almost 2 decades, and these two are meeting on the pitch, head-to-head, for the biggest trophy in world sports. I mean, talk about the ultimate passing of the torch moment. It just perfectly sets the stage for the absolute drama we are about to unpack today.
So, here is our agenda. We'll start with the ultimate matchup, move into Spain's tactical blueprint, and then look at Argentina's late-game magic. After that, we'll break down the key tactical battlegrounds, explore a fascinating astrological angle from our sources, and finally, answer the big question: who wins it all?
Okay, Section 1, the ultimate matchup, #1 versus #2.
Now, you might be wondering how we got here. Well, these two juggernauts arrived at this exact moment through completely contrasting paths. On one side, we have Spain. They have exhibited just total, unwavering control. Listen to this. They haven't trailed in a single match this entire tournament, not one. They've shown this low-key, comfortable dominance, just racking up clean sheets and totally neutralizing powerhouses like France. Then on the other side, you've got Argentina. And their path? Well, it's basically been exhilarating chaos. They've been dragged into extra time, they've had to come from behind against Egypt and England, and they've really just relied on sheer, unstoppable willpower to scrape through. So we're essentially looking at a classic clash of styles, Spain's complete control versus Argentina's wild, relentless mentality.
Moving on to Section 2, Spain's tactical blueprint, complete control.
650. Just let that number sink in for a second. 650 consecutive minutes. That is the record amount of time Spain went without conceding a single goal earlier in this tournament. Their goalkeeper, Unai Simon, put up 5 consecutive clean sheets. Their possession game is incredible, but it isn't just about scoring. It acts as this suffocating defensive shield. I mean, it's pretty simple logic, right? The other team literally cannot score if they don't have the ball. And that brings us to the key pieces making this whole system tick. Rodri is back to his absolute best. He is functioning as the most dominant holding midfielder in the world right now, just breaking up plays and shielding that backline like a brick wall. Out wide, you have the dynamic, explosive threat of Lamine Yamal completely stretching the pitch. Then defensively, fullbacks Cucurella and Pedro Porro have been absolute standouts, not just at the back, but pushing forward into the attack. And backing the whole thing up, Unai Simon. He's been playing brilliantly as a sweeper keeper, almost acting like an extra defender to command his box, push high up the pitch, and totally cut off those sneaky through balls.
But, you know, what really glues this all together is the manager, Luis de la Fuente. When you look at his timeline, it completely explains why this Spanish side has such unmatched chemistry. Look at this. De la Fuente was managing the Spain under-19 squad way back in 2015. Then he moved to the under-21s in 2018, took over the men's national team in 2022, and boom, won the Euros in 2024. He has literally grown up with these guys. The cohesion you see out there on the pitch, it isn't just raw talent. It is a brotherhood forged over nearly a decade of playing together under the exact same tactical philosophy.
So, that's Spain. Let's flip over to Section 3, Argentina's late-game magic, chaos and mentality. 8. This stat is just absolutely mind-boggling. Argentina has scored 8 goals in the final 15 minutes of their knockout stage matches alone. Let me say that again. 8 late-game goals just in the knockouts. Whenever they are down, whenever they look completely counted out, like being down 2-0 against Egypt or trailing England, they just flip a switch in those closing moments and completely overwhelm whoever is standing in front of them. And look, we obviously have to talk about the guy at the center of it all, Lionel Messi. Check out these stats for his 2026 World Cup run. 8 goals, and by the way, none of them were penalties. 4 assists, 26 chances created, and 24 successful dribbles. Guys, he is 39 years old, and he's actually outperforming his 2022 World Cup self across the board. It's like we're witnessing a 7th prime for a player who is just flat out defying human logic. He floats around the pitch, bides his time waiting for the exact right moment, and then delivers these pinpoint crosses right as Argentina pushes 7 men forward. Our sources really hit the nail on the head here.
emphasizing that no team has shown to be more dangerous in the final 15 to 20 minutes of a match than Argentina. And what's wild is that this reputation actually creates a psychological self-fulfilling prophecy. Opposing teams know this late-game tsunami is coming. So what do? They panic. They sit back in a deep block, retreating all their players into their own penalty area. But that just invites the pressure. And ultimately, clutch players like Lautaro Martinez and Enzo Fernandez come off the bench and make them pay for it.
Which brings us to Section 4, Key Tactical Battlegrounds. This is where the match is truly won and lost.
Breaking down the specific matchups really reveals where the distinct advantages lie. For sure, the most glaring mismatch is out on the flank. You've got an incredibly pacey, incredibly gifted 19-year-old Lamine Yamal going up against Argentina's Nicolas Tagliafico. Tagliafico is 34 now and has definitely shown some struggles defensively in this tournament. Argentina might be forced to double up on Yamal, but if they do that, they're going to leave massive, gaping holes in the middle of the park, and that leads directly into the midfield battle. Spain's trio of Rodri, Pedri, and Fabian Ruiz are going to try to dictate the tempo and just starve Argentina of the ball. Meanwhile, Enzo, McAllister, and De Paul will be out there trying to blow up that rhythm and spark those quick transition moments for Messi.
So how does this actually play out? Well, our sources highlight two highly likely game states, and each one heavily favors a totally different side. If Spain scores first, man, that is a massive problem for Argentina. Because unlike England or Switzerland, Spain isn't going to sit back and invite that late-game pressure. They are honestly the perfect counter to Argentina because they'll just keep the ball. They'll make Argentina chase shadows and burn through their energy reserves. On the flip side, if the match is still level at the 70-minute mark, that completely plays into Argentina's hands. That's exactly when their chaotic, unstoppable momentum historically takes over against a tired, stressed-out defense. Okay, Section 5, the astrological angle. Science meets destiny. Now, I know what you're thinking, but hear me out. Our sources provided some genuinely fascinating analysis here.
The core concept the astrologers are pointing to is something called a karmic quota. This is defined as the cosmic limit of a person's lifetime achievements. The theory goes that Messi has essentially maxed out his quota. Think about it. Between his previous World Cup win, 2 back-to-back Copa Americas, and all those Ballon d'Ors, he's achieved so much that winning another World Cup would require an impossibly massive karmic quota. Basically, he'd have to be superhuman.
And the astrological odds stacked against Argentina don't stop there. According to the data, no captain has ever successfully defended a World Cup. None. Furthermore, no coach has ever defended a World Cup with the same captain. And if we look at the planets, specifically Pluto, the current alignment strongly favors players born in the 1990s. Well, Spain's captain, Rodri, was born in the 90s, fitting this alignment perfectly. Messi's generation, on the other hand, was favored by Neptune during the 2022 cycle, but that window has passed. So astrologically speaking, at least, the stars are firmly pointing towards Spain.
All right, let's bring it back to Earth for Section 6. Who wins it all? Predictions and data. If we look at the supercomputer's probability breakdown, Spain is the clear, cold, mathematical favorite to win this thing in regular time at 43.6%. Argentina is sitting down at 30.1% with a pretty high 26.3% chance of a draw, pushing the whole game into extra time. Clearly, the algorithms really respect Spain's flawless run and their unmatched ability to completely control the pitch.
So, summarizing the final verdict from the tactical analysts, the general belief is that Spain's possession-heavy style is going to act as the ultimate kryptonite to Argentina's late-game chaos. Because Spain hasn't trailed once in this entire tournament, the expectation is that they'll find an early goal, maybe exploiting that flank mismatch with Yamal, and then just use their elite, suffocating passing to safely dictate the rest of the game. Our sources ultimately predict an incredibly tight 2-1 victory for Spain in regular time. That would earn Spain their second star while heartbreakingly denying Argentina a historic back-to-back fourth star.
Which leaves us with this final, massive question to ponder before kickoff. Will Lamine Yamal and Spain's absolutely perfect tactical system reign supreme and choke out the game? Or is Lionel Messi simply destined to defy human limits, planetary alignments, and tactical logic one last time? I really hope this explainer has you perfectly prepped for this monumental clash. Enjoy the final, everyone, and keep learning.